Okay, hi everyone, welcome back for another video. My name is Brenda, Nyawara, happy to have all of you here. So this past week on Twitter, there was a topic that was trending for close to 4 days. Workplace bullying. And this came about because of a tweep who decided to just lay out what had happened to him as a result of another celebrity who used to work with him in a media house. As a disclaimer, this channel is not a gossip channel, so I'm obviously not going to discuss the people involved. I'm just going to discuss the topic and how guys were reacting to it, and I also want to hear your opinions. So let me just read you this first tweet before I even go on to the main topic. Maple Cocaine had posted back in 2019 saying, each day on Twitter there is one main character. The goal is to never be it. And in this particular situation, the main character was a Kenyan celebrity who was dragged for almost 4 days. And then she gave an apology on the 4th day, which continued the conversation, which I would hate to be the person of character on Twitter, for sure. Anyway, that being said, let me just go on to what sparked the discussion. I've obviously rubbed out her name because I don't believe in targeted harassment, regardless of what you have done. And I mean, if you're familiar with this story, go ahead and check it out. And if you're not, I think the topic will still be relevant to you because I think it happens to many people out there. So this particular celebrity had posted on her Twitter. She said, "I truly dislike people who aren't big on accountability. You can't go around doing things that hurt people. Then you're afraid to be accountable for your actions. You're stunting your own growth." And obviously this quote looks like it's just something normal that someone would say, you know, it doesn't look like it's anything harmful. I mean, it's positive vibes and all. But someone who knew her in person decided to come out and say, hey, that's not what you are. So he responded saying, "I'm just sitting here watching the person who constantly terrorized and brutally bullied me the entire time we worked together about accountability." So he was responding, mentioning how she really made his life a living hell, literally, on the office. And I'm sorry that I'm laughing because, I mean, okay, it's a serious topic, and I think he went through a lot, as I'm going to read to you. At the same time, it's also laughable because the jokes that guys were making on Twitter were really entertaining as well as, you know, eye-opening, right? So he went on to describe the things that she did. Okay, I want you to pay close attention to the things that happened and maybe reflect on whether you think they are reasonable, also if you've experienced it yourself, and how we can hold the other person accountable. So he goes on to say, "This woman would constantly call the entire office to a stop to make fun of my clothes when I didn't have enough money to buy the trendy stuff she and her friends thought only those deserving to be in her presence to wear." Okay, so it's like this lady would taunt him because of what he was wearing, and I think he even elaborated saying that he used to wear secondhand clothes when coming to work. I mean, he had just begun working and maybe he didn't have enough money to buy new clothes, and everyone was wearing trending items, so he felt left out. At the same time, he felt like guys were laughing at him, led by this lady. He goes on saying, "This woman, again, made up such hurtful nicknames for me behind my back. And she would laugh in my face because I couldn't afford to order fancy food for lunch, so I would cook and carry my own food." I don't think there's anything wrong with someone carrying food from home. If anything, I used to also carry food that I've cooked. Very nice food, by the way. So if guys are ordering pizza and you're not part of it because you carried your own food, I don't think that should be anything where someone should bully you about. He also goes on to say, "This woman, again, felt because I didn't have an accent as well polished as hers, I therefore was not deserving to be a radio presenter like her, and would happily remind me whenever I crossed her, which only happened when I breathed near her." I mean, he went on to say how he felt like even just being near her was an irritation to her, that she would find any reason to taunt him. Oh my God, why are people like this? He kept on going to say, and to be very clear, we have worked in the same industry since then. This is the media industry. We have crossed paths many a times since. So where is this accountability that she speaks so wokely of? His whole aim was him saying she is preaching about accountability, yet the things that she has done, she takes no responsibility for. Okay. He continues to say, I haven't even said anything about how she constantly and actively sabotaged my work and my job. He clearly had gone through a lot, okay, allegedly. And the reason why I feel like his story might be credible is because, as I mentioned, she did apologize on the 4th day. And here's the thing, if you are accused of something and you feel like it's not your fault, you would not issue an apology. You would come out and say, this is libel, and I would take you to court for what's the word, for harming my name. What's the word? I've forgotten. For tarnishing my name. There's a legal word for it. I would not own up to things like this. I possibly cannot. But she issued an apology, and she, I think, accepted what she had done wrong. So definitely some of these stories are true, I guess, or 100% true. So I felt really bad for this guy. Obviously, I think I'm more on the side of this guy, because you must have gone through a lot for you to hold it in and put it out on Twitter for everyone to see. A lot of guys were on his side, definitely, because many other people also came out to say that this particular lady had done things to them. And the funny thing is that while the others were saying, yeah, she also did this to me, someone else was coming up saying, you who is accusing her of bullying also bullied me. Like, it's a whole world of people just being mean to each other. So this sparked a discussion on Twitter about workplace bullying. There was even someone who was saying, you guys do not even want to start talking about law firms, for example. And I know how rigorous it must be in law firms. So when you have interns there and associates, I don't know what happens, but I guess when you have ranks, there's always like a clash between seniors, juniors, supervisors, and your subordinates. I don't know, and I hate that for anyone who's going through that. So anyway, St. George posted something really wise, saying, some people validate themselves by bullying others. My former workplace, my then boss, bullied me every single day. At times he wouldn't answer when I greeted him. That's just mean. Okay, that's just mean. I dreaded the morning briefing session because I'd have to have a face-to-face with a person who hated me with a passion. Oh my goodness. A lot of other guys were giving encounters of what they had gone through under their bosses, and I felt like if you're a boss somewhere and you hate your employee, why don't you just let them go instead of affecting them emotionally, mentally, by spewing such hurt and hatred towards them? Guys were just giving encounters of how their fellow co-workers were just mean to them. Mean. Like, I've never understood. We literally go to work and then leave and go home. It's not your mother's company where you can just go and do crappy things to the employees. And even if it's your mother's company, for heaven's sake, treat your employees well so that your mother can make a good profit. Oh God. Miss Honey says every workplace has a bully, yeah, and they are mostly monstrous to fellow women, especially younger ones. They then come and tweet about women supporting women, fellow woman this, fellow woman that. The fellow woman chat is a scam when you actually deal with them. This brought about so many comments about female bosses and people saying how women are the worst bosses out there because women are the meanest, we're the illest, we are horrible, and I hate it for feminism, because again they say this is why feminism shouldn't be there, because you empower the woman and she becomes even worse than the man. Obviously it's not true for everyone. I think a bully or someone who's just a mean person, it doesn't matter their gender. They can be man or woman. If you're mean, you're mean. You're not mean because you're a woman. So Daniel kept on going with this narrative saying women are so fake and full of facades. All most of them do is lie, manipulate, cheat, be mean, dull, and unaccountable. No. this is not true. Not all the women in positions do this. And if one woman is out in the media doing this, doesn't mean that every woman does that. I've met so many good female bosses, and I've met bad female bosses, and I think also men can be bad bosses also. It's not like it's a gender thing, okay? And let's not say because one woman messed up, now everyone has messed up. The Dawn says there is need to at times talk about safe workspaces. People are being driven into depression by their colleagues and their bosses out here. Unfortunately, I feel so bad for anyone who has to leave home and go to work where you kind of have to be because you have to pay your bills, and then that's not even the place that gives you peace. Like it makes you hustle and still hustle mentally because you come back home wretched. Okay, I hate it for everyone who's going through that. And safe workspaces should be a thing. Kido Jazzy says the reason why women get to cement themselves easily as potential victims is because men don't come out to talk about their plights or delay talking about it. Just look at this. Women are as wicked as men. Wickedness is not a male thing. But here's the thing. I do recognize the fact that men really don't come out to talk about what they go through, especially if it's something really bad at work. And unfortunately, also the men who come out to say that they have been harassed are harassed even further because they're like, how are you harassed? You're a man, you're a man. In fact, this guy, I felt so sorry for him at some point because guys are also coming out to say, what do you mean you're being harassed by a woman, by a female boss? Come on, you're a man. But there's no gender when it comes to abuse. Even men are abused. And society has made them feel like they can't come out and talk about it. And this guy, I kudos to him because he actually spelled everything out and it felt like, yes, very relatable. And he was outright with it. And I feel he has inspired so many others who also came out to say that, yes, I went through this too. Okay, so kudos to the men who are speaking up. Sir Dixon says, these are the real issues. People are tweeting like sensible people, but in real life, they are full of shit. Correct. All these celebrities out here tweeting like, oh my God, positivity, be nice to people, be kind. You know, the real issues are known by the guys who are close to them in person. Not everyone is perfect. For heaven's sake, we are not perfect. But don't come out here and pretend like a hypocrite telling people to be nice and accountable, yet you yourself have to be held accountable by other people exposing you for doing such atrocious things. I can understand a strict boss. I can understand a boss who doesn't want nonsense in the office. That's different. But for you to actually taunt someone because of what they're eating, what they're wearing, their accent, come on. And you're not even the boss, you're just a co-worker. Nicasia says, every day Twitter gives me a reason not to trust people that constantly feel the need to announce that they are good people or preach about accountability constantly. Yeah, don't believe everything you read online. Please don't trust or believe what guys say. And especially those guys who insist I'm a good person or I helped people. Talk to the ones who know them in person, then you'll know. And one way in which I knew that some of these stories are true is because I never saw any of her friends come out to defend her. I'm not trying to attack her, but I didn't see anyone come out to her defense. The ones that she worked with, all mute, which tells you something. In fact, the ones that she had worked with before also came out to say, yeah, that woman, yeah, it's true, she's a bully. Gosh. Iluvi is one of those problematic people. He says, getting bullied by a woman is crazy. You should be ashamed of yourself. And he laughed his crazy behind off at that point. Iluvi, anyone can be bullied by anyone. And it's victim shaming for you to come out and taunt a man for being bullied by a woman. So wrong. Alexander says the social circles created in media workplaces are some of the worst, most toxic and unfortunate issues you have to deal with. It's a place full of social climbers, gossipers, and black-hearted people. I'm so sorry. And he also says, tread carefully. You can become... I'm trying to avoid saying this word. You can become... what's the word? I'm trying to avoid to say the S word. But yeah. And here's a sad twist to this. On day 2 of this thing trending, there's a DJ who offed himself, by hanging or what? It was rat poison in the same media company. And I'm assuming that the same HR that allowed the other kind of bullying to take place is probably the same HR that's there right now, because that kind of culture made it a place where this guy did not have the solace that one should have in a workplace. I understand his issues were based on things going on at home according to sources, but if things are bad at home and you find people at work who are supportive, it can help you in a way. But if you find an environment that is so toxic at work also, no wonder he offed himself at work. That's just my opinion. But rest in peace, DJ Lithium. Messi K says, if you're claiming to be better than the bully, yet sorry. If you're claiming to be better than the bully, yet your comment about the issue is full of insults about her looks or berating her instead of soberly discussing the issue at hand, you're just the same as her, unfortunately. Here's the thing, guys were really going in on her. Guys were talking about her face, about her behind, about her body, about her hair, about her eyes, her nose, her lips, her outfit. Oh my gosh, everyone went out on, even the ones who didn't know her. You guys went all the way to make her feel so bad if at all she read those posts. I mean, that's bullying itself. We're trying to be like foot soldiers trying to counter bullying, but we are also propagating the same bullying that we are fighting. It doesn't make any sense. Okay? I don't think it makes any sense. You become the bully in the long run. Anyway, no one deserves bullying at all. No one. Oh, and also guys were really mentioning other media house people who were bullies, allegedly. Like many other people that they encountered who are bullies. And I'm just wondering, this whole industry is full of bullies. And all of you work in workplaces that are just like bully heavens. And if there's anything, we need good HR systems and also just good people. And accountability. Talk to them. Tell it out. Tell your boss if you're able to. Oh, the sad thing about this one also was the victim mentioned that this lady was also like a favorite of the bosses. So you as bosses, if you want an effective workplace, please do talk to your employees and be fair. Yeah, because there are so many bad things that happen out here. People are offing themselves because of such work stresses, and I would hate for anyone to be living in depression because of because I allowed them to be bullied and didn't do anything about it. So let me know if you have gone through this before, and also give me your opinion on all this. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video, hopefully later this week. Bye bye.